Okay, I decided to do another video for you. This is one of the trails that we've got. I don't know for sure how to pronounce it. Right there it is. I'll zoom in on that, get you a better view of it. Anyhow, I call it the Carnivorous Gorge Trail. Basically what I decided to do was, instead of walking all the way down here, I decided to take one of the club cars that they let us drive out here instead of walking every place. They've got somewhere around, I think it's 150 acres of land, so it's a pretty big facility. We've got, there's a footbridge. That trail going up the hill there vanishes on the skyline. That goes right straight up to where the carriage house and everything's at. Whoops, going the wrong direction. Need to put it in go forward mode. So this here's the trail, and here's another trail. These are basically roads that they've got cut through here. They come out here and they'll mow it, picnic table. Residents, they can get their lunch to go, and they can kind of hike down here and rough. They can hike down here and have lunch. And I'll show you. Here's a sundial, I guess, where they was trying to get whenever everybody was having that Y2K panic stuff. And where they can still tell time. It's not bolted down and it don't really work, because as you can see with the forest cover that they've got. And here's a swing. What they've got out here on it. And then here's some of the, what they're considering a gorge. I mean, where I come from, this is basically a hollow. Or hollow, depends on how you was raised to pronounce it. But this cut pretty much cobwebs. Anyhow, this cut pretty much runs clear all the way down to 180, the highway. But it's one of these areas that you pretty much have to be here to completely appreciate. Of course, there's mosquitoes galore. And let me pause this here real quick. Okay, we're back. This little shed is kind of like a pump house. At one point in time, they was going to actually put cottages down here. Jeremy told me that they opted not to, because it's so hard to get down here pretty much year round. I'll shut this off, take the key with me. Oh, check this out. Little tiny spider right there. Probably one of them I picked up and driving through one of them cobwebs. Yeah, it's all hunkered down. So, actually I don't think I'm gonna need my sunglasses. I've got, let me pause this again. Okay, we're back. I'll give you an idea here how I'm dressed. I've got insect repellent on. This right here is a mesh bag that's supposed to keep mosquitoes off your face. And I got one of my old, what they call boonie hat, which is something similar to what the military would have wore. And of course I don't know how well that shows up. And then here's the entrance to the trail. I don't know for sure why they built this makeshift lean-to, other than, you know, it kind of looks neat. Really, the individual wanted to, the outside of this, they can pile up sticks and stuff, debris, and then cover it with leaves, make them a shelter. Another picnic table. Here we go. Let me show you again here how I'm dressed, because I had that on Zoom. Anyhow, I've got a mesh bag, like I said, to keep mosquitoes off my face, and then a boonie hat, which is something similar to what the military wore. And got insect repellent on. And here's beech tree. They usually grow where there's abundance of water. And then these trees right here, how well this shows up. It's a type of a pine tree. They really don't grow around Ohio all that great. They're something that basically came down here with the glaciers. And I think this area, other than maybe up north, is about the only places that you're going to find them. But the climate has to be similar to Canada. And here's something that people come out here and do that I don't 100% agree with. Because anytime you break that bark, you're introducing the chance for a disease to enter that tree, basically kill it. And we've got storm damage. Basically that tree's probably died, and then the winds come along and broke the top out of it. And there's another one there behind it. But that's basically what I'm out here for, is to check for stuff like that, any trees down over the trails. The way we can get them cut off, get the trails opened back up. So, and then of course, there's sunbeam coming through the woods. But yeah, these are pretty nice little hiking trails. And we've got a footbridge. That's another thing too they had me do, is come out and spray these footbridges with bleach. It supposedly kills all the moss and stuff that grows on it, makes them slick. And there's a bench. Let's go over here and take a look, see what we've got. I guess I could make a bench like that whenever I build that building up there. I mean, they took a chainsaw and cut a V on a piece of wood, and then split another piece and laid across it and made a bench. Ooh. I'm not afraid of heights. It's just that last 1/1000th of an inch. That's what kind of sort of scares me. And there's another tree down. Looks like people has been down there walking in that. They was talking about one point in time of cutting a trail down there around that gorge where you can actually get down there and walk in it. But they've kind of sort of put it on the back burner. Hell, well, that's showing up pretty good on this camera. I've got my cell phone I'm doing these videos on, and that's just downright beautiful. The way that sunlight washes out and sunbeams coming through the woods. It's even better if you was actually here. You can see the individual sunbeams and see all that wash. Yeah. So this is the first time I've been on this trail here. And we've got another one on the other side of the gorge called the Highland Trail, and it basically starts back around the manor house, and there's one of the feeders for the gorge. It probably comes, I don't know, maybe on somebody's field or whatnot. And it runs straight down into the gorge. Another tree down, so whenever it come down, it snapped a limb off or a tree top out. Anyhow, it starts at the manor house and then it ends out to the far end of where the cottages and stuff is at. I'd say maybe probably about, I don't know, a kilometer or two, I'm guessing, or half a mile, or a mile, something like that. All right, here's a tree that pretty much snagged up in them other trees, and it's right directly above the trail. Normally we call those widow makers, because what can happen is some poor unsuspecting fool be walking along, walk right under it, and come crashing down on them. That's why a lot of times whenever you're camping, they tell you to check the trees ahead or above you where you're setting up camp, looking basically for widow makers, any dead branches or anything like that that could fall off and land right smack on your tent while you're asleep. And I guess as they say over here, you'll wake up dead. If that's even possible, I don't know yet. Maybe one of these days I might find out. Might be lucky enough to wake up dead. Let's see what that kind of life is like. So, at this trail here, it's about the same length. And there's a tree that actually got uprooted long time ago. So, yeah, you was asking what they've got over here that we can do together to stay busy all day. And, well, you're a nature lover, and I kind of like being out in it myself. So, you know, there's something that we can do. There's a interesting part of a tree. Well, I don't know about over there. I would say they probably do, especially if you have any hickory trees. They got what they call hickory jacks. It grows on them. It's basically a fungal growth. It looks like a little tiny ledge. It grows off of it. Kind of about like a lichen, L-I-C-H-E-N. And what the pioneers used to do is they would get them, boil them, and they would eat them. They say they taste a little bit like hickory, but they was basically a food staple. And I've never had them before. That's why I kind of sort of wish. There's another sunbeam coming through. That's why I kind of wish I could find one and show you about what they look like. My grandpa on my mom's side, they had a piece of, I don't know if it's hickory or oak, but it was basically like you would take a tree where one of those hickory jacks was growing, kind of split it, and it was shellacked, and they had little like garden gnomes on it. Kind of hanging on the wall. I remember seeing that thing just like it was yesterday. Every time I went over there, I was mesmerized by it. More sunbeams. I can hear water running. I mean, we're way, 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 way above the gorge. Out here. So far, I really don't see anything noteworthy that needs to be reported to tell them that we need to get out here with a chainsaw. Other than that one tree, but you got starting to cut on it, you'll end up with a bigger headache on your hands than what you want to really mess with. Check that out. Took several thousands, millions of years for that to get cut like that. Actually, I think they said it was like 30,000 or 40,000 years ago is when that glacier come down from Canada actually started to recede. Whenever that glacier come down from Canada, they said that's what actually formed our Great Lakes that we've got. Wow. I can't zoom in on that. It don't show up worth plug nickel. Anyhow, there's water down there. I'm guessing maybe about 100 foot, somewhere in about there. Let's see, 100 divided by 3 is about 90 yards. A little over 90 meters. Give or take. At this trail, it goes down into a great big loop that they call Turkey Foot something or the other. I don't remember what they call it. But basically it goes out and it hits that loop and then you walk back the same trail. Now, why they did that, as opposed to cutting it on around the property line or up there where we was looking at them sunbeams, is beyond me. Oh, here's something. Pine cone. Just laying there, all nice and pretty all by itself. Another thing too that we've got out here, a squirrel running up that tree. So we got deer runs, deer trails. There's one right here that runs out and through. What'll happen is the guests, I don't know, maybe that might be, yeah, that might be the trail. Anyhow, these guests will get on these deer runs, deer trails, not knowing that they're not part of the actual trail. Mushrooms. Now, I don't think that those are the kind that you can eat. There's another one growing, if I can find it. There it is. Growing there. Used to be over here whenever I was a kid. This is back in the early to mid 80s. We had a Saturday morning cartoon over here called the Smurfs. And they claimed they was mythical creatures. It's just something that somebody had dreamt up, and they lived in mushrooms, whole entire village of them. And they had one guy that was like a sorcerer that had a cat, and he was constantly trying to get the Smurfs to cook them and eat them. Don't know why. And then they had something called Smurf berries that Smurfs would eat and grow in a little bush. They looked kind of about like a blueberry. And of course they had kind of their own little thing. Like, you know, the sky is smurfing, or have a smurfy day, or everything's all smurfed up, so to speak. Another widowmaker leaning there. And top of it's right up there in that tree. Oh, staircase. A funny thing about this is they've had to haul this wood out here. And I can just about guarantee you they didn't pack it out here by hand at all. Yeah, these steps are slick. As far out as what I am, if I fall and get hurt, I'm kind of sort of mildly screwed unless I can make it back to the club car. Another bench overlooking all this. I think this is that Turkey Foot Trail thing. I never seen their sign for it. But they give you a map of the trails whenever you check in out here. I've got a map that I asked for whenever I started walking the trails. That way I would know where I was at. And the trail we was on kind of sort of dead ended, and then there was another little loop that they had. Right there's what they call Black Hand Sandstone. Up there at Lancaster, at that park that I made the video of, that was Black Hand Sandstone that mountain was made out of. Just brushed up against another cobweb. Now, I don't really know. I know that over there there's a bridge. There's another trail heading this direction. I'm hoping. So I don't feel like doing a whole great big bunch of climbing up and down slick stuff today. This looks like it comes over here in dead ends. Yeah. It does, because I didn't bring in rappelling gear or do any rappelling. A little bit of mountain engineering on a Saturday morning. Basically what I'm doing here, other than walking this trail, is just trying to kill time. They've got breakfast out here, and trying to kill time for them to get done with their breakfast, and then I can actually start my stuff. There's another beech tree with somebody wrote their initials in it. And there's a whole bunch of, here they are, little tiny white things. Oh, actually, I thought that was some kind of fungus. Actually, leaves are growing on something. Huh. The whole hillside here has got that on it. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Whenever I was a kid, I've been out in the woods a lot. Oh, where's a cave? Over there. Just way waiting to be explored. See, it used to be, of course I've already told you about this, from Ash Cave. The Indians would come out here when they was on their hunting parties, and they would stay in these caves and stuff. I guess that's something else too I'm gonna have to worry about. Running into an Indian and having my top knot lifted. End up scalped, and this bridge is slick. So, gonna sort of edge along. Here we go. Yeah, that gorge kind of sort of cuts back through there. A lot of these caves is caused by erosion. Or kind of, I think it's what they would call a dugout cave. Kind of like where the water would be rushing along. Basically washed the sandstone out. Another piece of that. And a lot of these trees grow literally right on the edge of a lot of this. And a lot of the forest rangers, park rangers around here, are kind of amazed how they're able to actually grow right on that rock with very, very, very little soil for the roots to take hold in. And usually what will happen is that some idiot wanting to try to get a selfie or a better picture of the gorge. Of course, I haven't heard of it happening out here yet. Will, on a place like that right there, grab a hold of that tree to try to keep from falling down. And next thing you know, that tree can't take the weight of it versus what it's actually got in the soil versus the idiot trying to get the picture hanging off of it, and next thing you know, down over the hill they go. Anyhow, as you can tell by the way them layers and striations are in that, it's an indication of how it was laid down, and then all this ripple like looking stuff. It's basically the erosion over the years. I have to start paying attention to where in the world I'm at. I end up lost. Of course, I did stop and let guest services know that I was going to be out here just in case. And I told them that I would let them know whenever I got back. That way they would know that I'm not out here hurt or lost. Ain't that relaxing? And you can tell there's water spiders on the surface of it, but I have yet to see any what we call crick chubs or minnows in any of this. Out here is a little slick spot. And yes, I'm being careful. Take a walk in it. I know that there's a pond that's on the property other than that lagoon. It's down by what they call the innkeeper's house that they treat. Well, basically what they treat it for is algae and stuff like that. I don't know for sure what the deal is with the pond. Why it's even there or anything. Well, I don't know if that's part of the trail that runs up that hill there or not. Kind of sort of looks like it because there's a level spot that looks like it's well traveled, and it kind of like up over the hill there. So it very well could be part of it. Out of curiosity. It's good cool water. Good cool water. Enough to wade in, but not enough to go swimming. And it's been years since I've waded in a creek. Neighbor kid, his dad had a bunch of farmland, and they had a creek that ran through it. We found this great big huge pool area in it. Back up here on the hill. Walk up this hillside here. Oh, looky here. How well this shows up. Right here. Right here. You can see where it slid as it was coming down through here. And here's another one. Those are deer tracks. Right there's another one. Just some of the things you kind of keep an eye for. Whenever you're out hiking, let you know what kind of wildlife you got around you. We've also got raccoon and possum out here. And of course, like I said, squirrels and chipmunks and doves and all kinds of birds. Saw a blue jay out here a couple of days ago up there in one of the bird feeders. After seeing that deer track and not knowing for certain if this is a deer trail. Of course, you can see right here another one. I'm not 100% certain I'm not on the deer trail. Oh, man, I would say direction this is going. That's exactly what it is. Here's another one. See where it slid. And then you see that where it's all tore up. Of course, with this being private property, I don't think they allow people to hunt it. Which means it's kind of like a wildlife refuge / sanctuary for them. So their trails are going to look just about like ours, but not as worn down. Sometimes finding stuff like that is a way to tell that you're really on a deer trail. Now, sometimes deer will use trails that we've made. And that's exactly what it was, because you can see the way it just basically vanishes. This cut is more than likely a gas line. So, it's a deer trail. And that's why I'm saying a lot of these people, they get out here on these trails not knowing that that's what they are, and they follow them and they end up lost. Now I know that I was told there was a couple out here one time. Now I know exactly which direction I just came from. And I know that if I head this direction, because there's where we come up the hill, I know that if I head this direction, I should meet back up with the trail that I come off of. Anyhow, they was trying to hike to Old Man's Cave. Well, Old Man's Cave from this area by car, by road, is over 20 miles away. So they told me where they picked them up at. And it was quite a good little distance from here. But they just happened to have a cell phone on them, and they was lucky enough to be in a spot where there's cell service, and I think I just walked through another cobweb. So they was able to call and get a hold of somebody, come pick them up, bring them back out here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but we're back to set up staircases that we climbed down. Whew. Mercy me. Sweat starting to roll down my face. I've been out here on this trail for almost 40 minutes. There he is. What's the matter, little bird? Huh? It's okay. It's all right. I'm not lost. I'm making a video for this girl that I've been talking to. Her name is Luca. You want to say hi? Will you be good, okay? Yeah, it's about as curious as what I am. That's all. Yeah, we're back where we were at. So, underneath this widowmaker here. Ta-da! There's the stairs we went down. That's why it's important to pay attention to where, whenever you're out hiking like this, pay attention to where your trail is at all times. So I don't know where this thing makes a loop at, unless it makes a loop down there in the bottom somewhere. I don't know. I never saw any other signs or anything. So I'm on my way back to the club car, and whenever I get back there, I'll radio them and let them know that I'm done, and then go up to the break room, grab me something cold to drink, and then head back up to the treatment plant and cool off for a little tiny bit, and then get my day going. So alrighty, that's one of these trails, and like I told you, you love to be out in nature, so can't get much more nature than this. So I will get this posted and let you know about it. Bye.